allotted to them, or they are responsible for it, and try to provide the superintendent with the best possible school system they can provide.
No more commercial breaks. What do you see as the most important strength or weakness, and, excuse me, what do you see the most important strength and weakness of Littleton Area School District?
The most important strength, based on my personal experience with the school district, is the people. It's the teachers, it's the coaches, it's the staff, it's the administration. I have only, in my time, had one interaction that I could walk away from and say, yeah, I don't really want to interact with that person again. All the others have been wonderful. All of them have had my children's best interests in heart. And my husband's a teacher too. He's a teacher down in Carroll County. He works at the Career and Tech School down there. He's on his 28th year, I guess, working in the county. And he loves his students. And I've seen the time that takes. I've seen the toll it takes on your family. Because it is a toll when you're putting in those extra hours and the things you're doing. But I think the staff's amazing. And I haven't interacted with all like sports and coaches. I can say, you know, the Fine Arts Department is one of the best teams I've been able to deal with, to work with, as my kids have gone through marching band and chorus and musical theater as well. Mr. Lowball, Mr. Bish, Mr. Brady, all just amazing. They really care first and foremost for the student. I'm going to switch this a little bit from weakness to challenge. I like to think of weaknesses as challenges because they're just an opportunity to do something better. I think the financial piece is one of the biggest challenges, and kind of alongside that is communication. I think it's hard for parents to come to meetings at the time we have them. I mean, it's the time we have to have them. I'm not saying we should change that time at all, but it's that witching hour, like from around 5:30 or 6 o'clock till 8:30. If you've got children from 0 to like 11, it's a crazy time. So being able to come here or to listen in can be very difficult. And I think we need to find new ways and new opportunities to communicate as a board. I love that the school does the survey and they make the community a key member of that survey audience. But it's like, you know, think outside the box. What else can we do? Can we sit down in the library and say from this time to this time I'm going to be sitting there and I'm here to answer your questions? What if, what can we do to better support that? So.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Mr. Perez?
Okay, as the main thing in the local area here is the community, the school, the people like you mentioned, the teachers, the board, everybody likes to work together with the kids, likes to try to make the best of the school. It's not like you mentioned down in Westminster where the teachers would pass by and not do anything when they saw a problem. You know, here they take action right away, and it's just overall everybody seems to work very well, and they have it in the last 23 years I've been here. It's a very nice community, so it's excellent program that's been established. And the one challenge that I see is the aging buildings. We've built this school here in the last, 15 years? And now with the development or the extension of the high school and the tearing down the elementary school, that's, I believe, to be a great challenge. It's like, how do you stretch your budget with the challenges with these aging schools? It's hard to do, and buses and just everything. You've got to have top-notch equipment, and you can't do everything.
I think the community itself, being so small and being the fact that it's a Commonwealth, really benefits the school system because you got a small, tight-knit community, tight-knit town going into a nice, small school system. With being small, there's a lot to be said for being small. You can do and manage a lot of many problems and a lot of issues in a much easier way than you can a large school system. I think that really could fit for anything, really, but just so much it's just so much easier to handle challenges when you have a smaller school system, especially a small campus. Your campus is so small, it's incredible. So I think that that's all beneficial to the school system as a whole. I think where I would see weaknesses, from my perspective, is two things. And the last time I was here, I said the same thing. I'm going to say it again because I still think it's a weakness. Even though you do the surveys, your surveys aren't getting out to everybody. So, and a lot of people, internet's everywhere. I get that, and that's good, but not everybody's on internet. And Littlestown is a very viable community for retirement individuals. So people come here to retire. So they're not going to come here to get on their internet to take a survey. Just saying. So I think there's a group of people out there that you definitely haven't quite hit yet, and they could be very beneficial to your schools. I mean, they could be your volunteers, they could be your substitute teachers, they could be, fill in the blank. Wherever you need, you're having shortages, they could definitely fill in that position. Obviously depending on who they are, but. So I think it's a group that you haven't quite reached yet. The other thing I would say that that I perceive as a weakness is your budget. Your budget needs to get out into the public more so that you're going to get more, by getting your budget out, you'll get more involved with the public, and what you hear from the public, what I hear from the public is, wow, did you get the school tax this year? Holy cow, every year they've gone up, every year they've gone up. How much is the school tax this year? It's a big thing. Because when people don't understand something and they get confused with something, they get frustrated. And especially if it has to do with finance. If it's coming out of their pocket, they're going to get real frustrated real quick. So if you got, and there's got to be a way to do it, but if you got your budget out to the public and maybe held some actual public meetings, maybe open up the cafeteria, or open up the elementary school, or open up the auditorium in the high school, for a few nights during budget season, during the season you guys are going through the budget, to the public, and have them come in and take questions. Just have them bring any questions to you guys and take questions from them. I think that would be very, very helpful. Yeah, it would definitely take more of your time, and unfortunately that's the downside, but if you could get the message out there and at least show that you're more transparent with your budget. I'm not saying you're not, but in the public's eyes, from the public's perspective, especially the retirement perspective, it's not that it's that transparent. So, I mean, there's definitely areas where you can improve in that. And from my perspective, with that improvement would come more acceptance and more encouragement and more involvement from the community, I think. I mean, I'd be more involved. I'm back for a second time, you can't get rid of me yet. Just easy.
Mr. Press, what policy or policies would you want to see discussed and acted upon in the future?
Policies, the big agenda would be the policies of the major policy of gender identity and versus naturalized she, he, etc. That would be a major discussion if it came up in the school district. I don't believe that's an issue here, but that should be a major discussion on whether teachers need to be forced to go one way or the other, and there should be a recommendation by the superintendent and the board
any of you have thought about this or not, but, now that you guys are doing contracted buses, and I understand that they're supposed to do your routes, I don't know how thoroughly it's been reviewed or not, but there may be a time when, contracted buses, or contracted bus company, may wanna redo the routes, or may wanna change the routes, so that they can save money, save time, save staff, or save maintenance costs. So I think that that's definitely something, if you guys haven't already looked at that, that's something I would definitely look at. And possibly put that into a policy, because that could very well be a problem in the future.
Anything else?
I think that's it.
Ms. Hutchinson, any questions?
So, I had the chance to come to some of the curriculum policy meetings, and I did have taken some time over the last few months as I've been as I was preparing to run for the school board, to read some of the policies and stuff. There isn't something, I don't really come in here with an agenda for let's go change this policy. My biggest thing is making sure students are getting what they're needing to learn and to do well. So I don't have a specific thing that I would say needs to be changed. I will say that I was happy to see that there are a number of things that do specific policies around changing things, that when you're going in to change them require 2/3 of the board to vote. And I am completely 100% behind that, because I think that focusing on some of the things that have become sources of great disagreement in some areas of this country doesn't help anyone. The best thing we can do is teach our students to be thoughtful and kind. And when you dig into some of these policies, you start separating people. You start putting differences out there. And I don't think that's healthy for the children.
Do you need a break, Raymond? You guys okay? All right.
You don't have like 10 more questions, do you?
We don't have 10, we got 15.
Oh, gosh.
We only have 3 more.
Those are the easy ones.
Sorry. Yeah, we're winding down, right?
Winding down. All right, Ms. Bayless, this is number 7. How would you handle an individual who you may have difficulty serving on the board?
Say that again?
How would
How
you
would I
handle
handle?
an individual who you may have difficulty serving with you on the board?
I'm usually a team player. I've been a team player for years. We may have disagreements, if that's what you're talking about, we may have disagreements, but there's usually always a way to come to some sort of agreement.
Okay.
I'm much more a team player than not a team player.
All right. Ms. Hutchinson?
So, I think that I'm going to go back to kind of that perception thing. The first thing I would do is look at myself and say, I'm having difficulty, am I adding to the story of what I think this person means or says or does? And it's not always easy, but I would try to have that conversation and ask that person some questions, open-ended questions, to listen to where we have that disagreement. You know, is there a perception of me that I've somehow set up that through open communication, we can work through? It's not always possible, but I think that's the best way to try to overcome those types of situations.
Thank you. And Mr. Perez?
Digging into the HR side of things, communication. A lot of times communication is the issue. One person may be saying A, the other one may be saying and therefore the communication is not properly understood. So maybe sit down with that individual and just figure out where the differences are, where the communication gap is, and work it out. Otherwise, is it my cologne? Should I change the cologne that I'm using? What's, you know, where's the problem? But sitting down with the individual and figuring out, determine a neutral position might be a good start.
Ask for clarification on something or not?
As long as you ask on all three.
Well, I can't because only one person said it.
They say,
Okay. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, just for Mr. Prez, you just had made a comment, back here about, gender ideology, and the teachers, and just so I can clarify, are you in favor of that? Or the children being referred to as what they were born with, they're male or female?
Basically, that's the decision that the board needs to make, and not the teacher. Basically, the teacher should not be forced, hey, my child wants to be called such and such, or want to refer one way or the other. If the superintendent sees that as an issue and we don't have a policy, then the board should make the determination. It's not up to us.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Ms. Hutchinson, you're on next.
Mhm.
Sure. Okay. As a board member, how would you complete this statement? My greatest hope for the future of the Littlestown Area School District is.
So I think it's a mixture, that every student is getting the supports they need to be successful in a way that sounds like a thing going around. Basically, not every student is here to be the best academic student. Not every student's here to go to a trade school. Not every student's here to, you know, read lots of books or do whatever. But every student can be successful. So I think the best thing would be having students that come out that feel that they were able to be successful, that feel like they had a place they belonged, that feel like that they were meeting their needs, you know, intellectually, whatever level that is. Socially, we're providing an environment where they can have friends and grow up and evolve into the adults they're going to become. And physically too, I work in food insecurity. So that's something that's really close to my heart, mental health addiction. So knowing those kids have a place to come, because it's not always at home, unfortunately, have a place to come where they can get a meal and they can feel safe and feel like they belong.
Mr. Perez?
Basically, a high success rate compared to the other schools in the state, that we've got a high rate of students completing the high school career and getting their diplomas and finishing up. It'd be great to be able to develop the next president or the next governor here out of Littlestown. But if we have a high success rate overall compared to other schools in the area, in the state, that'd be fantastic.
Thank you. Anything else?
I think it would be fabulous if we could get as many kids as possible, as many of our students as possible. The students that are high school certificate bound, okay, high school diploma bound, get as many possible that we have to become at least proficient, if not above proficient, by the time they graduate high school. Now, that's a tall task, but I think we can do it. And again, I go back to the fact that we're a small community. With a small school system, you're going to be able to address a lot more challenges that will come to you than a large school system. So I think it would be fabulous if every kid that walks across the stage to graduate is at least proficient, if not above proficiency.
Mr. Burns, what support would you need if you were selected to serve as a member of the board?
Support in terms of, okay. The support that I would need is to understand, basically catch up to where the board is, and proper board etiquette, proper board requirements from my position. So some kind of training to be able to be as proficient as the board is now.
Carrie will provide all that. Ms. Bayless?
What was the question?
Question was, what support would you need if you were selected to serve as a member of this board?
I think I can step in right now. I've been attending board meetings. I've been keeping up with online, like already I'm kind of keeping an eye on your current, let's see, your current first grade. Right now you have three classes of first grade students. And your kindergarten, you have 5, second grade, you have 5, third grade, you have 5, fourth grade, you have 6, and fifth grade, you have 6. So you're gonna have a lower bump. Kids right now, they're in first grade, they're gonna go into second grade. This is just for what I got from the website. You're gonna have a slowing down period for a while, and that's gonna come through as those kids progress through. So I don't know, I guess you just reroute your staff from 4th and 5th grade teachers to be able to offset the lack of students you have in first grade as they move up through the ranks. But just keep an eye on the school system and pay attention to what you guys are doing and come to meetings. I think I would be very fine, just good step in.
So I know there's various training that's offered, and I would work closely with Mrs. Mummer to get set up with that. I know there's the Pennsylvania State Board Association, where you all talk about in the meetings. There's training available out there. I'm a pretty good self-learner. I like to get in the weeds and do research, but then I like to come back and talk to people. So some great conversations with current board members would be wonderful as well. And I think I'd probably come to each of you and say, what's the one thing you wish you would have known at your first school board meeting? It's the one piece of information you needed that you didn't have. So it would be a combo of learning on my own and learning from the board.
Okay. All right, I'm just gonna stay with you because it's just easier for my papers. So, is there anything else that you would like to say to the board? This is the last question.
That's my last question.
That's your last, the last question is, and I'll say it so you can all get it.
Okay. So I just want everyone to know, and I've had a chance to talk to some of the board members. I put a lot of thought into this before I decided back in January to run for school board. I used to commute an hour each way every day. Of course, COVID changed that, but still, it was an executive. Well, by the time I left, executive level position down in Owens Mills, and actually for a while I had to go to Canton, Baltimore, and it took a lot of time. My kids were younger, and they actually each of them has their own set of learning differences that I was learning about and supporting them in, and there are extracurriculars and all the things they were doing. I have been interested in running for some sort of office, for taking on a role since I was in probably high school, maybe middle school. Thinking more of the federal level. I actually interned down in DC and realized those people never have time to do anything that they wanted to. It's only been recently since I started, I think the moment was when I started working with the band boosters in the concession stand. And the same 5 or 6 people were there every Friday night. The first ones in to come get their food of choice, hot dog or whatever it was, cup of coffee. And the community, I didn't grow up seeing that where I was from. So seeing that, I realized that actually serving the community is I think, something that will fulfill me far more. I work in nonprofit space now, commute to Westminster, a lot easier than Canton. Two of my boys are in college, one's starting in a couple weeks. My daughter's coming to the high school, she's pretty much done with mom. So I have the time to spend on it. So I know that this is basically a job. I realize that, I make the time for that, and that's my commitment if I'm chosen for this position.
Thank you. Mr. Gross?
Well, thank you. You get two highly qualified candidates there also. So I am here to try to serve the community again and help where I can. So like I mentioned earlier, I'm getting ready to retire. I'll have all my time to assist in various positions as is needed. If I need to be at a booth somewhere and taking all the questions, or the top shots from at the carnival so they can dump me, I'm here and available. But yes, that's my goal is to try to help where I can. So thank you both for being here. You're highly qualified. So thank you.
Ms. Jones?
Well, this is my second round through, so you know pretty much everything about me. I'm on the ballot for November, Main Street primary, so I definitely am looking to fill a position on the board. To fill it a little earlier would definitely be beneficial. But mostly, I just really want to serve. I just want to serve the community and give back. I have the time to do that now. I'm retired. And I have a lot of knowledge from my past experience on the school board, from 10 years on the school board before, that I would love to share with you guys. And I think I could really bring a lot to the board, best practices, and share with you that I think it would really benefit our community and our children, our students who go to school. So.
I appreciate all that I'm sharing, all the candidates coming out, because as I said today before, it's not, you stated it probably does, that bewitching hour.
Yeah, I
we
know.
have, and there's a lot that goes on at this time, and right now, especially, it's, in the summer, school starting, college kids going off, so on and so forth, so I appreciate you all coming. Thank you. We'll take a couple minute break for us to.
We'll take a break, we have to make sure that you're remaining public and on.
Yeah.
But if there are any follow-up questions.
Yeah. Does anybody have any, let's go with any follow-up questions to start over here. Anything?
We normally do, but I agree.
Ms. Ressler?
No.
No? Okay.
Mr. Perez?
Yes.
You, I'm sure know, this is a short-term 3-month position.
Yes.
You, unlike your counterparts, are not on the ballot for November.
Yes.
So I'm assuming you're still interested in serving in a more short-term interim role, and if so, what would your potential interest be in wanting to run in the future?
Yes, I would probably look to be on the ballot here in the future. I put it on my message, or the letter that I submitted, that I would be looking to be on the ballot here for future potential on the board.
Thank you.
I don't have anything.
I'm good.
I'm good. I'm now saying let's machine gun votes. Did you have any questions? Okay. So you want to take a 2 or 3 minute break? You have to stay here, but collect your thoughts, rate numbers, or you just want to just go for it? All right. Carrie, you're going to do a roll call vote?
Okay, so we'll do a roll call vote, just say the individual's name that you're voting for.
Correct.
We don't have to say why or anything.
Nope.
No, just the individual's name.
Okay. Stephen Yerger.